there and welcome. My name's Suzanne from Nonstop Papercrafts. Thank you for joining me again on my channel. Okay, so today's video is part of the Big Bite Challenge happening in the Junk Journaling for Everyone Facebook group. So if you are joining me from the challenge, welcome. If you don't know what I'm talking about and you would like to get involved in the challenge, then head over to the Junk Journaling for Everyone Facebook group and go to the events. You'll be able to see all of the challenges we've done so far. We're currently on week 9. So this is the 9th challenge and we've got 3 more after this, so there'll be 12 in total, but you've got time to catch up if you wanted to. And basically we're building up to making your own journal. The theme is vintage, but lots of people are doing lots of sort of sub themes within that. So some people are doing vintage sewing, some people are doing a vintage circus, there's a vintage Christmas. I'm doing a Jane Austen one, so it's looking at vintage texts. There are so many different genres, which is absolutely fantastic to see. So this is week 9 challenge, and the challenge is to make 2 specimen cards. Now I know some people think, oh well, it only kind of suits botanical, and yes, normally it is kind of botanical theme, so you'll have flowers. Also could be quite sciencey, so you might have like bug prints and all that kind of stuff in there. But I think the great thing about junk journals is obviously we have that rule of there are no rules, and so we can kind of push the envelope a little bit and be a bit more creative. So I have done a tutorial on making specimen cards before, so here are some examples that I've done in other videos, and I like the fact that you can kind of play around with shapes. So I played around with a circular one and then obviously stamped it up with specimens, but essentially all this is a piece of card that's been folded over, and then I've cut the window out, laminated my specimens, and then put them inside, stuck them inside, and then glued it together, inked around and stamped. Okay, so it's a really simple process. I'm making it really easy on myself today because if I move those out of the way, I actually have a die that has this kind of specimen feel to it, so it looks like a little specimen die. So here is where you'd put your specimen, and then you'd have your notes on what it is here. If I show you the die, this is what it looks like, and then it actually comes with this little film thing, which is what you would put in here. I will put a link below if I remember, in case you're interested in ordering it. But like I said, if you haven't got a die, that's fine. Like I said, all I've done on these ones is I've literally folded over a piece of paper. So if you've got, let's find one, a piece of scrap that's a particular length, all you need to do is fold it in half, obviously cut it to the size that you want, chop out a window, and then you've essentially got a specimen card. Now these ones are a little bit different to what I've been used to making. So these ones are obviously clear on the back as well. These ones only have the window on the front side, but it means that I can kind of play around with this a little bit more. So I don't mind the fact that there's only a window on one side. Obviously, if you do want a window all the way through and you're using a die like me, then all you have to do is just obviously trace around this and cut out the window so that you've got it on the back as well. But like I said, the lovely thing is we can play around with these and do them in our own styles. So on the previous ones, I've obviously pressed different leaves and flowers and things and then laminated them. If you don't have flowers, then you can always buy these kind of washi stickers. I think lots of us have those. So you could literally just trim it down to the size that you need and then stick that in there. So that could be an option. If you are doing a completely different theme and you don't think flowers go, so I don't know, maybe you're doing Christmas, although you could use a poinsettia, but if you're doing Christmas, it could be something really fun. It could just be a piece of tinsel. It could be a Christmas stamp of an angel or something. It doesn't have to be anything botanical. That's obviously the traditional, but you could sort of stamp anything else in. Same as if you're doing vintage sewing, you may decide to laminate in a piece of coiled vintage thread and then have that in there, and that's your sample. I'm going to play around a little bit because, like I said, mine is Jane Austen. So I've got 2 designs here. So this one is patterned, And the thing I love about specimen cards is they could be used, I guess, as a bit like a tag, so just something decorative to put into your journal, which is why I've used a pattern paper for this one. This one I've literally just chopped. This is part of an envelope. I had a piece of scrap on my scrap bin, so this was an envelope and I've just cut it out. So I've got this nice brown colour, and obviously it's plain. So when I fold this over, on one side it will look like a fancy specimen card, but on the other side I can then do some journaling if I wish to. So that's why I chose this one. But yeah, so we're going to have a little bit of a play around of what we can do with these. These are the bits that were punched out. So obviously that would have been in there and those in the other one. But I'm thinking I could maybe mix and match those a little bit. So I could maybe pop that one in there with the specimen name and then do the same on that one. I'm also going to have a little play around. I had some new wax seals recently, so I'm going to try and show you those as best I can. So I was playing around with a kind of red colour, so I hope you can see those okay. The lighting's not great in here. I can't open my blind though, because otherwise you'll have a blaring sun coming in, because I'm right by a window. But I've got a dragonfly. This one looks like a stamp with a flower in it, and then this is like a little jar with plants coming out. But I thought these might be really cool to have as my sample, since I'm doing a book. So I'm thinking of putting book page behind with my seal on top, and then obviously I can stamp something down the back here. And then obviously this one, I might do something a little bit different. I think I might use maybe the roses, because the pinks look quite nice together. So I might use the roses sticker, but again I might put some book page behind just to kind of decorate that. So I'm just going to grab a page from my Jane Austen book. So this is the one that I've been tearing up. It's Mansfield Park, and I absolutely love this cover. Depending how thick my journal becomes, I might use this as my cover. But I think this must have been used for study, because some of the pages have like notes and things on them. So I think somebody must have had this as a study book. Yeah, so let's put that to one side, because I only need a little bit for these pieces. So let's kind of get an idea. So I need it to, we need not despair. So let's fold it there. Where are we? There it is. So I'm literally just going to tear it. I don't mind a slightly rough edge, that's fine. And then I'm just going to get my ruler, tear off those edges. Because I just want the text. Right, and then how wide do I need this? About here. Then, sadly that's not going to be enough for that side. That's fine, we've got more. And then I'm just going to get rid of that top bit. Okay, so this one we can stick in here. So all I'm going to do with my pencil is just roughly mark where the edges of that window are, just so I know where this needs to be stuck. And then with my glue stick, I'm just going to pop that inside. There we go. And that's in there like that. And then where are my flowers? So do I want these flowers? Okay, and then I'm just going to mark with my pencil. Hopefully that shows up, or it does a little bit. It's a slight, you might be able to see it in that light, slight mark on there. Where's my scissors? I'm just going to chop that off along that mark, and then I'm just going to draw again roughly where that line is, because that's obviously where I want my sticker. Now this is always the bit that takes forever and a day, is trying to get the backing off of these stickers. I don't know if anybody else has problems with these. And we got there. Right, okay. So that's going to stick in there. Just want to make sure we're in the window. Excellent. So that's going to be my specimen. Right, so down here I want to stick something. So I have this stamp that kind of looks like handwriting. I'm just trying to decide. I'm going to have this bit, I think. So I'm not going to ink the whole thing. Just going to do that signature bit at the bottom. And again, just try and get that roughly in place. I mean, that's the only thing with these wooden stamps is you can't see exactly where it's going, but that's fine. Oh, not bad. That was a pretty good guess, wasn't it? Right, excellent. And then this is ready to glue down. So again, just a glue stick. You can, of course, use a wet glue if you like, but because this is only sort of thin paper, it's fine to use a glue stick. Okay, and there is my first specimen card. Okay, so a little bit different to these ones. Like I said, these are kind of the more traditional that you kind of see where they're completely see-through, but I quite liked this die where you can see it. So I've got my signature down the bottom and then my book page. Right, so here's my second one, and again, like I say, I think I'm going to do something similar. However, this time I think I'm just going to put this underneath. So I'm just going to mark, let's move that out of the way. That's the top, that's the bottom, and they're the sides. So that's going to get stuck in. I need another little bit of book page to go in that window. So let's just tear some of this off. And let's have a look. Oops, sorry, probably right out of frame here when I'm trying to... Now it doesn't matter if I come down a little bit into this second window because this is going to be covering it up, so that doesn't really matter. So the only thing I need to make sure of is it at least goes above that top part. So let's glue this one. I really love doing these specimen cards. It's probably one of my favourite kind of extra bits to make. I think they're just so easy. They can be very quick and you can be really creative with them. Although now I've done that, I've now covered up my lines, haven't I? That was clever. Let's just put those back in. And then this bit I'm going to stick down the bottom. And this actually has some writing on, so I'm just making sure that's up the right way. And hopefully that's sitting in the right place. The nice thing about a glue stick is I can move it. Yep, so that's going to sit in there. Excellent. Right, and then the last thing is deciding which of these I want to use. So let's just close it up a minute. And I don't mind that it kind of overlaps the specimen tab. So I've obviously got the stamp, I've got the dragonfly, that's quite cute. I mean, this one's a large one, but I could always have that to the side, couldn't I? I quite like that. Or to that side. Yeah, I quite like this. So I think I'm going to use the big one. Okay, so I'm going to stick all of this down again. So again, just using a glue stick. You can, of course, use a wet glue. Okay, so there's that. And then this, I'm thinking of popping there. I have a teeny bit of cheesecloth here. I'm just deciding, do I want some of that coming out? I think I do. And just give that a little bit of a tug and a twist. Don't mind that it's all frayed. Right, so you're going to get stuck down first. Where's my tacky glue? Right. This is going to go over the top. So you can use a hot glue gun for this. This is a tacky glue, so it's a high tack, high stick. So this should be absolutely fine. So I'm just putting some glue on there. And then stick this down. And then, like I say, how you decorate these is absolutely up to you. So depending on your theme, if you're doing something Christmassy, like I said, you can have tinsel. You can go really crazy with Christmas. That's why I love Christmas. Lots of brilliant colours. Right, so that's now stuck on there. And that's my next specimen tab. So they're my two. Like I said, if you haven't got the die, that's fine. You don't need the die. All you need is a strip of paper, whatever obviously design that you're doing, something to link in with your theme. Fold it over, cut it down to whatever size you want. Just to give you an idea for these ones, if you're interested, if you're working in centimetres, that is a 7 centimetre square. If you're working in inches, that is about 2 3/4 inches of the square. So that just gives you an idea. And then I was playing around. You can actually punch that size hole if you have a crocodile. I just don't know how you're going to get those notches. You might be able to play around if you've got some fancy tool that makes those notches, just to kind of get a similar effect. But yeah. Okay, so challenge 9 is to make 2 of the specimen cards. As I say, I've cheated a little bit by using a die, but you can of course make these without. Like I said, you just fold over a piece of paper and cut it to the size that you want. Either cut out a window just out of one half of it, or go all the way through to have one of these transparent ones that goes all the way through. So it's entirely up to you how you do these. Another hack, if you don't obviously have a laminate sheet, but maybe you have some of these stickers and would still like to go all the way through, if you just use a windowed envelope and fold it over, you can still obviously trim around the edges, leave the bottom bit wide so you can do your stamping with your specimen, but you then have obviously the window, and you can just stick your sticker of whatever it is inside, and then that could be a quick specimen card as well. So lots of different ideas here for you. Thank you to everybody that's been joining in with the challenge. It's been such fun, and like I said, only 3 more to go after this one and we will have a completed journal made. It's been very exciting. So if you want to take part, like I said, head over to the Junk Journaling for Everyone Facebook group, check out the events. Thank you to those that have already been taking part. I hope you've been inspired here today. And thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful crafty day. See you later. Bye bye.